All right, guys. On this episode 4 of the Bad Batch, cornered.
Some people's kids.
Aren't you a good guy?
What droid?
And Wrecker gets the munchies.
Of course he does. You know he's the goddamn stoner of the group.
How many calories do you think he has to take in compared to, like, say, Tech?
You know what? I think I tried to reach that goal about 3 days ago, so I might be able to attest.
Okay, so this episode, a quick one, a good one. We see
Fennec?
So we see the Bad Batch realize they don't have the cushy supply line to the Galactic Republic anymore. So now reality's setting in where they have to fend for themselves, right? They assuming they're gonna have to start making money for themselves. Yep. But they need rations, they need to scramble their ship signature because now they're on kind of the wanted list.
Yep.
So they have to land at a particular planet and kind of execute these little side missions so they could keep on going.
Yeah. So hold on. So two things there. Number one, the landing pad looks grossly familiar to Luke Skywalker's home planet. That whole setup looked literally like the exact same.
Like dropping in kind of like a little
literally
hangar.
Looks the exact same. And of course it's early, so I completely forget what that's called in this moment. Thank you, Tatooine. Yeah. And the other thing I noticed was 2 episodes, Wrecker's so excited because they have the best weapons ever, and now they have no food. It's amazing how there's that little contrast between, the Republic Alliance slash the Empire. The Empire's all about the weapons, but they're like, man, we have no food. What the hell?
Yeah. So they literally have to sell their weapons, right?
Yep.
Or at least try to.
Yeah. Or one of their teammates.
So when Echo walks out that ship with that mask, I'm like, oh, it looks kind of droid-like. And then sure enough, that's where they end up going with it. So that was kind of a cool little uniform change for Echo. Yeah. And it's probably something they could pull off in the future as well. Yep.
His outfit reminds me scarily, and this is a weird nugget and probably a bit of a stretch, of the supervising droid on Jabba the Hutt's.
Oh no!
When he's like, "This person upset our last master," and he's like in 4 pieces. His face piece literally looked the exact same piece down the neck gull, and I'm like, "Oh my god, we are in need of a new interpreter droid." The last one disappointed our master. They literally look the same.
I thought he looked like Chappie. Did you ever watch that movie? Is that Neil Blomkamp?
It's the first half's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Second half made me want to go set fire to the studio. Different topic.
Yeah. So we get Fennec here. She's been tasked to get Omega, which I think is interesting because I don't think a lot of people know about Omega. And might as well skip kind of almost to the end of this. She responds to a handler, right? Target got away. I'll make sure. Yada. Who do you think Fennec is working for here? Like, is it too obvious? It's the Caminos? Because I don't think it's the Empire. I thought that. I'm thinking timeline, right? So he's probably near the height. Well,
he's
probably
ascending. This would be Jango Fett. Sorry, Boba.
Well, Jango would be dead by now. This is like when in the Clone Wars when Boba's like the little kid rolling around the singing and stuff. He might be teenager-ish right now.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like
you're
prime boss.
I would assume not only the Caminos, but I think the handler, not the president, like specifically the one who helped them get away. That's why she didn't assassinate her.
Yeah, so she's definitely going for live catcher. And she's specifically targeted, not the other Bad Batch, right? It's not just because at the end of the previous episode, right, they're like, we need an enhanced clone for our DNA sample. This one's specifically after Omega here.
For sure.
Yeah. What else you got from this one? So one note, we didn't really talk about last time, but remember in last episode, Wrecker banged his head, was complaining about the headaches. And a lot of people are speculating that that's his chip potentially turning on, like what happened in Remember when that guy
and he got
executed
his
the
ass
Jedi
whooped in this one
twins?
too, and he was all foggy and out for a bit.
Yeah, so
interesting.
he banged his head again, right? And it was kind of foggy, but he wasn't like, it's in pain. So I still don't know if that was a continuation of this, like leading the crumbs, or if maybe
I would love to see that happen. Obviously, it'd be dreadful at the exact same time, but it's just like one of those old computers, right? You just smack it on the side of the CP, and then the CPU unit just starts working again.
Yeah. And it's interesting, like how deep they go into Order 66, right? Like Order 66 was kill the Jedi, essentially. There's no Jedi on the crew. Like, is he gonna or does Order 66 make him go all, for the Empire? I'll follow whatever orders transmitted to me. That's, I find, an interesting part if they get that, because obviously everyone with it on is complying.
And if his inhibitor chip comes on, do they have direct access? I'm going to assume yes.
Potentially, yeah. So that'll be definitely something
because they were able to shoot Order 66 on the fly remotely.
Yeah.
So my prediction is that it's going to happen, and he is going to be forced to comply, and there's going to be a moment between him and Omega, because there is obviously an incredible bond between these two. I think you're going to see that come to a head.
Yeah, and he's definitely a shitty one to have happen to him, right? He's gonna literally wreck that crew with his size. Yeah. Because obviously they're not gonna want to lethally take him down. So he's probably just gonna win with brute strength.
Yeah. Good episode though. Really good episode.
A couple little other nuggets I noticed was I guess the last one is like the little dogs that get Omega's attention. Those are actually from, I don't think you've watched it, but the Star Wars Resistance cartoon.
I've not seen Resistance yet.
Yeah, so the one of the girls, Tora, has one of those pet dogs running around all the time. So I thought that was another, intertwining, right? We get Fennec Shand from the Mandalorian in. Yep. We get those little space dogs coming in from Resistance.
Is Resistance any good?
It's, out of all the shows, it's probably the one most geared towards kids.
Yeah.
But it was fine. I thought it picked up as it went on, but it's very isolated, and there's not really any Force users in that one at all. It's more or less just about pilots and stuff.
Okay,
which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I wasn't sure, but did you notice the cops were all kind of blue-faced aliens? I wasn't sure if those were Chiss, like Thrawn species, or if they were they're in the Clone Wars. I think they're on an ice planet, but there was some other blue skinned aliens, and I know George Lucas played one in Revenge of the Sith. I couldn't pause it enough or just to focus in on it. I wasn't sure.
It might be just
if they were supposed to be, or a random species, I guess, maybe. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
All in all, good rating time.
Yeah. So what do you got? You go first for your score here.
I'm gonna hang out at a solid 8. You said 8 is fantastic. 7 is good. I'll give this between good and fantastic because they went into it. They covered tons of content. Fennec Shand, in my opinion, should almost boost it to 8.5. As a matter of fact, I'm going to change mine. I'm going to go 8.3. They jammed a great new character, that great little plug, and I love the cookie crumb of Wrecker. So I'm going to go 8.3.
Yeah. I'm going to go. This is pretty much on par last week for me. I'm going to go. I think last week I was 7.9. I think I'll give this an 8.
Yeah.
It was a little more.
Fennec alone gives it 8.
Yeah, it was faster paced, and I like the integration from the other shows. Yep. Some cool action. Everyone I find Star Wars doesn't do enough of like those action set pieces like within cities, right?
Yeah.
For sure. That was nice. It's cool to see with all the speeder bikes and the flying cars and what have you.
100%.
The one dude is a trucker just bobbing his head to the music. Yeah. Doesn't know what's going on.
I enjoyed that a lot. Just vibing. Just vibing as things are going on. Yeah, that was good.
All right, buddy.
All right, perfect.
So they're on the right track. So we will talk again next Friday.
And it's 16 episodes long, apparently, which means that we might be out of stay at home, and we might actually be able to shoot one of these live in front of the green screen.
Nice. Yeah, that would be nice.
I mean, I'm not banking on it, but it's possible. Yeah.
And the other little nugget of news, maybe you want to talk about for just a minute here or 30 seconds, is one Mr. Dave Filoni was promoted apparently to the leadership team at Lucasfilm.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's now the executive of creative design.
He's now, as they would say, a BSD, a big swinging dick.
Yeah, he now swings the biggest dick for creative strategy, whatever you want to call it. Which
and you know what he should? He should swing that dick all over the place. I think he's earned it.
So yeah, he's worked his way up that ladder, right? So it's good now that his brain might be driving a lot of the future projects, even if he's not directly involved, which I think is nothing but a good thing moving forward.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
All right. That was awesome, man. Appreciate the time as always. Be good.
Right. Later, man.